Officials of the Ghana Private Roads and Transport Union and other commercial transport operators over the creation of artificial scarcity in the sector. Speaking at the Government Accountability Series on Wednesday, January 14, 2026, Mr. Kwachiofosu said some commercial vehicle operators are engaging in rent-seeking behavior by limiting vehicle availability to drive up fares, despite reductions in fuel prices and import duties on spare parts. There's more in this report.
The government expressed strong dissatisfaction with the growing congestion and scramble for commercial vehicles at major transport terminals nationwide. Felix Kwachiofosu argued that these developments are not coincidental, but rather the result of calculated efforts by some drivers to exploit commuters.
As some transport operators who are engaging in rent-seeking behavior, because ordinarily transportation is a largely private sector-driven activity in Ghana. We have these transport unions, GPRTU and what have you, who organize transport systems that convey the generality of our people. For some reason, after the persistent reduction in fuel prices, which led the transport organizations to announce a 15% reduction in transport fares, there are some operators within the system who thought that they could engage in rent-seeking behavior by creating artificial shortages. So the minister informs that he has asked the STC to put back the vehicles on the road. In addition to that, there are quite a number of Metro Mass buses that had broken down. So he has ordered their expedited servicing to ensure that in a matter of days, they are back on the road. But they will operate outside of their normal routes and schedules in order to take care of the present congestion that is going on. The minister also informs me that I think tomorrow or so, he has requested for a meeting with the GPRTU and other transport operators to address the issue of rent seeking, to call those engaged in that activity to order.
Against the backdrop of public debate on inflation, consumer prices and economic stabilization, the government spokesperson dismissed claims that recent macroeconomic improvements have failed to benefit ordinary Ghanaians.
It is not accurate that all the macroeconomic gains we've made have not reflected in the pocket of the people. That is simply not accurate. Now, I have endeavored to look for absolute, authentic facts, because I too am interested. You forget about the fact that I also live in Ghana, and I go to the same markets and I patronize the same services that we all patronize in this country. So I know for a fact, and it is not disputable, and I say this with all the reverence and respect I can muster for the people of Ghana, that there has been a decline in the cost of living. I don't know whether you own a car, but anybody who lives in Ghana and bought fuel under the previous government cannot say that fuel prices have not reduced.
He further clarified that a recent clearance of $1.4 billion in the energy sector represents a substantial payment made rather than a complete settlement of the sector's total liabilities.
In terms of the clearance of the energy sector debt, I think on Monday, the Finance Ministry issued a statement to inform Ghanaians that up to about $1.4 billion of debt owed in the energy sector had been cleared. I don't think that the statement suggested by any stretch of the imagination that $1.4 billion was all the debt that had been cleared. Indeed, the statement broke down payments to IPPs and other stakeholders. There's a table that indicates how much has gone to who. So any thorough reading of the statement will make it clear that the Minister for Finance or government was not saying that all of the debt had been cleared, but a significant chunk of the debt had been cleared within a matter of a year.